Welcome, everybody, to Z&B Live, your unfiltered Lego podcast. It is basically the NBA Finals tonight, because if the Pacers do not win, the season is over, and I will be crying in a corner somewhere.
Oh, are they on right now?
It is not yet. They will be later, I believe.
I was going to say, if you decided to do this show instead of watch the Indiana Pacer finals, I'd be like, wow, you got your commitments mixed up. I'd rather watch that.
Yeah, 8:30 p.m.
Okay, we'll be done.
If I remember, if I remember correctly, 8:30 p.m. I was ready for you to be on location, man. I was like all expecting. Brian like warned me this morning, y'all, that like he was going to be on location in a garage somewhere, and I was like, yo, let's get back to basics. I love it.
I offered to power wash my friend's house as a like baby shower service. My friend is 9 months pregnant, and while my friend Dan is at work, I'm like, let me go over and do this thing. And it was not meant to be. I misplaced my credit card, which has now been found. And then now it is 95 degrees outside. So I was also like, yeah, no, we're good. I'm good.
It's been found
I love
by
you guys.
me.
Not that much.
Taking advantage of those double points already with Brian's credit card.
Yeah, right.
That's what's going on there. Welcome into Z&B Live, your unfiltered Lego podcast, coming to you live from our new home here on Twitch for our live broadcast. But you can catch all the replays and action over on YouTube after the fact. Plus, you can catch us from the audio podcast standpoint with Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of your amazing podcast platforms that you guys get your podcast. But we do this. We typically try to do this every Thursday, or as many Thursdays as we can, at 7 p.m. Eastern time, as you know, as schedules allow. Brian and I have now started like our own little Google Doc, Google Calendar, trying to organize the rest of the year because of different things on our road to 100. That's what I'm calling it, Brian. That's what I'm going to rename that Google Doc, the road to 100, because I'm not giving up until we hit 100 episodes. By God, it's going to happen.
At this rate, it's going to happen in fall 2026, and then I'll be in Hollywood by that point, and I'll be like, I'm sorry. Who?
You shut your dirty mouth and exclamation coffee, everybody. I do like being on, on Twitch now for these live shows. It gives, I'm not live very much anymore these days, so it does give the audience time to get in and, do some of the fun fish games that we have, and, spam the exclamation coffee, because it is one of the few alerts or things that we still have going on while we do this show. But if you are live with us here on Twitch, make sure you stick around, because afterwards, that's when we can interact with you guys a little bit more, answer any questions that you might have about anything coming up or anything that we talked about in the show, or share your opinions. But if you're catching us in the replay, share your opinions in the comments. Add those comments. We would love to hear what you guys think about the different topics that we discuss on this show on a regular basis. We'd love to see more interactions in those comments from you guys. I don't care if it's just dropping a heart and saying Brian is one of the best good-looking humans on this entire platform. That's what I want to see. Let me know if you are in that target demographic. Where are those spicy redheads at? Drop a heart in those comments below there on YouTube, and let us know how much Brian Saviano just does it for you. Like to see Brian in like a white suit, white jacket, white pants, running around like a crazy person, like he's just been sniffing some of that nose candy, running around like crazy. That's the kind of Brian that I like. It's amazing. It's a good time. It's a fantastic time. You know what else is a fantastic time?
What about the blue suit? The blue
suit is so 2024. It's time to go white.
It's a test of time.
Whatever. You know what else is a good time, Brian? 2 times points when it comes to Lego. We love our 2 times points. That's when all of us crazy AFOL start taking advantage of those 2 time points and buying all of the sets that we've been sitting there salivating over for months and months and months as Lego just kind of steamrolls along and keeps throwing more and more sets at us. It's absolutely insane how many sets that we have. But this is when some other AFOLs can look at some sets that maybe are on some that have been sitting on some wish lists for maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe even longer, that could be retiring at the end of this year in 2025. But Mr. Bricks O'Brien, if we found your wallet earlier today, we found your credit card earlier today, and somebody just magically put $10,000 on this credit card for you and said, here, no strings attached, here's 10,000 extra bucks for you just because you are that amazing looking human, what would you be out buying from Lego during double points week in June?
Well, the way, Zach, I don't know if you're familiar with how credit cards work, but you have to like pay the interest on the credit card. So if you give me the $10,000 limit, if you raise my limit by $10,000, that doesn't mean that I get $10,000. That just means I have the ability to spend $10,000. That doesn't mean that I have that money to to spend.
It's okay. Somebody, that spicy redhead is going to pay it all off for you.
If I magically had $10,000 more in my bank account, I would probably invest it in Nvidia or some crypto scam. Lose it all.
You're not contributing to the exercise today.
Buy Lego, actually, because I have plenty of Lego, and I don't need more Lego to put in my. I bro is a and business. I could. Books to then inventions to
he did get the word books out though. We all heard it. There, it's, Lego is an investment. That's what we're talking about. Just play the game, Brian. Just play the game. Forget your credit card. I found your wallet and I stuffed 10,000. I stuffed a Lego gift card of $10,000 in there. So you have to buy Lego now. That is not a thing. You can't take it to go buy books with your $10,000 Lego gift card. What?
I would probably buy an assortment of a massive amounts of bulk and creator 3-in-1 to then donate to Toys for Tots for the holiday season. I can't really think of anything else.
This guy, man, always just trying to be the nicest human on the planet, always doing stuff for others.
I'm not in this regard. I need more stuff, but not with this.
There's not a single set that has been sitting in your wish list that you've been sitting there going, man, if somebody was just generous enough to be like, here's the money to go get that set during double points, where you could add those points to your total, and then maybe, come October, you could buy a Game Boy set. You know what I mean? You could use those points to turn around and buy that Game Boy set in October. What are those sets that's been sitting around saying, man, I need that.
The only one is a sail barge, but
there's a set.
I don't think it's worth the 500. I mean, that's about it. That's the only one that
sail barge is worth $500.
Not to me. Not to me. It is worth some sort of VIP discount or something. But yeah, I mean, that is the one that's been on my list. I mean, everything else besides that, it's some older Mario stuff. I got the Mecha Team Leader for pre-order, the new stuff coming out, and the Galactus. So everything else is actually not available yet. So
everything else that you would want is not available yet. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, I got you. I tell you what, I'm looking at the retiring list. That's what I do. When I see double points, that's when I start looking at the retiring list and I go, okay, what's in that retiring list that possibly retiring at the end of the year that I I would really be sad if I missed out, because I've been there. I've been in that situation where I've looked at a set time and time again. I've walked into that Lego store and I go, man, next time, man, I'll get it next time. Not this time, next time, I'll do it next time. And then I forget, or other sets kind of keep, pushing it down on the list and whatever. And there are a few sets out there that I would really be sad to not walk away with by the end of the year. And the one that's at the top of my list is that motorized lighthouse. I want that set so badly. And it's been one of those sets, because it's not cheap. It's $300. And it's just been sitting there, and it's just calling my name, but then something else pops up and it just kind of keeps getting pushed further and further down in that wish list. But come December, if I can't get that, man, I'm going to be so sad if I don't get that. It's gonna eat away at me. There's a lot of other sets out, like a Bowser set, which is like, I have that, but like, that is a great Nintendo set. That is a great 18 plus Nintendo set. And if you don't have that,
you definitely
get it. Go out and get it. You're gonna be so sad if you don't get it. The Sanderson sisters cottage is up for retirement at the end of the year. That's another one, man. I built that set this last October, and I fell in love with it. I couldn't believe I sat on that set for so long and didn't build that set. That set was lovely. Absolutely lovely set. I've heard great things about the Viking Village. I haven't built that. The Insect Collection was a great set. The Insect Collection was so cool. But my God, like, you got Lionites Castle. There's a massive list this year. We got some big names on that list. The Lionites Castle, the Medieval Town Square is on that list. You modular people, the boutique hotels on that list. The Jazz Club is on that list. These are some serious sets that are going to go away at the end of the year. And what better time to take advantage of these double VIP points? My God, Diagon Alley's on this list. Diagon Alley's on this list. The Hogwarts Icon set is on this list finally. Dude, that's a great set. That used to be like my favorite set of all time. The way that set was built and what they did with it, it was too good. It was way too good. It was such a good set. Don't miss out on that. Some of the UCS sets on this list from the Star Wars section, the X-Wing Starfighter, Razor Crest was good, but man, that was an expensive set. That was a $600 set. And I remember liking it. I don't remember walking away going, oh my God, this is the best Star Wars set of all time. And it's one of the highest priced ones.
What's the best Star Wars UCS you ever built?
Boy, that Venator was good. I really liked that Venator set.
I had a search in my mind. I'm like, what is that? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That Venator set was really good. But you know what? I actually just posted a social post about it was like, I call them my Lego appreciation posts. I just put them out there every once in a while. I kind of like looking through my, sets of stuff. And I just kind of, that was, whatever. The TIE Fighter that came out, which I still don't understand the timing of the TIE Fighter coming out last year. That TIE Fighter is a lovely build. It was like one of the way they built it, the way it worked was it's got zoomability, you know what I mean? Like you can play with it. It's a UCS set that you can play with, and that's really cool. Like that was a really neat thing, right? So don't overlook that TIE Fighter. And I feel like if you are a Star Wars fan and you are, into the UCS sets, it's a reasonably priced one. Don't rest on that TIE Fighter set. That's actually a really, really good one. What's unfortunate is I think one of my favorite of UCS sets is one of the smaller ones, and it was kind of a meme set almost, but it was the Landspeeder. That Landspeeder was dope. That Landspeeder was really, really cool. Everybody kind of points at the UCS Falcon as like it is currently the pinnacle UCS Star Wars set, right?
For now.
That is for now. It's not a fun build. At least it wasn't for me. It was not a fun, enjoyable building experience. It was tedious. It was cumbersome. Like it looks great, but like I can't even open it up and like look inside of inside it without, because it's kind of a puzzle to put it all back, put the paneling all back on it and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain in the butt. And like, things start kind of popping off when you kind of pull the paneling off. Like, it's not a great, fun experience. It looks so amazing when you're done. Like, it is that set that is eye-catching, eye-popping. You look at it and you go, oh my God, this is fantastic. But man, as a build, was not a huge like fan of it. You know what I mean? Wasn't great.
Did you build the Imperial Star Destroyer UCS?
Not the big one, no. I own it, but
I think that was the last Star Wars UCS I built, and I had it, and then I'm like, yeah, we got to get this thing out of here. And then it was given away as a charity thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those ones. I'm kind of in a mode where I'm like, I really want to collect all of the UCS sets and build them eventually. I know. But let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. All the ones going forward. I'm not going to go back and get the ones that I don't.
That's what they all say, Rutledge.
Listen, Linda.
Have fun getting that Naboo Starfighter from 1999, Bucko.
I'm not, no, because I'm just waiting for them to redo it. They're just gonna,
yeah, right. They're not gonna do it with the chrome, and then you're gonna be like, yo, but it didn't have the chrome portion of it. It really makes the set unique, and then you gotta get that one too and compare the two.
And put it on you get out of here with that. You get out of here. One of the ones that you and I have talked about a lot, which is on the retiring list, and again, maybe take advantage of it during this double points, is the Daily Bugle. Mainly from the
that's a great set.
Mainly from the minifig standpoint, though. Like it to me, the Daily Bugle. I remember feeling like I felt with the Cantina, which technically wasn't a UCS set. I don't remember what they called, Master Collectors Series or something. I don't know. I don't know what they called it. They had a specific name for it. But anyway, I just remember opening up the Cantina, sitting there waiting for the next minifig. Like which ones do we get in this bag? And I kind of remembered feeling that way with the Daily Bugle. Like once you kind of went vertical with it and you really started getting into like that modular detail of doing the offices and all the fun ways that they were building things. Like I remember freaking out over the coffee maker. You know what I mean? Like something silly like that. But yeah. I just thought that was really cool. Like, doing this little micro build of a coffee maker, I thought was dope. Right. But I just remember like really struggling in that first level of that Daily Bugle. Like it just felt like it took forever on that first level and not loving the experience of that. But the minifig selection of it is great. So that's one of those ones where price wise, you can't beat it. It's one of the best price sets that Lego's ever offered, right? Same
makes thing. The X Mansion look horrific.
Oh my God. It's awful. I mean, $349.99 US. Like that is with the amount of minifigs that you get. Master Builder Series. Thank you. Pays to have somebody like Matt Mellish in our chat. So yeah, stuff like that is out there. The Milano, I can't sing the praises of that Milano set enough.
No, it's excellent.
It's such a good set, guys. If you are remotely a Marvel fan, remotely a Guardians of the Galaxy fan, don't rest on this set. I don't feel like it got enough hype. That is one of my favorite sets of all time. Like that is an S tier set for the price, for what you get, the building experience. It's so good, guys. So good. Don't rest on that set. Please don't. You're gonna feel sad if you miss out on it. Where are my Disney fans at? The Disney Castle's up for retirement again this year.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That was quick.
It was real quick. So
that makes no sense. That last castle lasted 8 years only to retire it and then replace it with that one, and then this one's gone already.
I'm wondering. I can't imagine them doing another version of that castle. But
no,
man,
you can't.
If they next year come out with the Disneyland castle, the OG, I'm gonna flip out. It will not be as spectacular looking, right? Because it's kind of a dwarfed castle compared to the other one, right? But it's the nostalgia of it, and they can still make it look really, really, really special. And I feel like they should. And I think after 2 iterations of the Disney World version, I think it's time. I think it's also time for that. So, lots of Disney sets on that list. So don't, don't delay on that. Again, 2 times points. This is what we're talking about. This is your opportunity. If you have not yet gotten any of these sets, this is the time to do it. Take advantage of these 2 times points. And we're going to get into even something a little extra that they're adding to this, right? We talked about the Mighty Bowser. Don't delay on that. Those are the ones that really like stand out to me more than anything. There's a lot of other sets out there, but some of them are like, okay, bye. Sets that I've never understood to begin with, but it's time. The Disney camera is also retiring. Yeah, there's a lot of Disney sets. Some of the early release of the Fortnite sets are Peely Bones is retiring, which was an odd, really weird set to start with. But hey, some people dug it. Whatever. Don't delay. Don't hesitate. If you've got the cash, if you've got the funds, double points last from June 19th, which is today as recording, all the way through June 23rd on all purchases. And we would love to know if you guys want to put in our live chat here or in our comments on YouTube after the fact what you guys are going to be getting with the double insider points. I still want to call them VIP points. VIP is going to be always stuck in my brain because we called it VIP for so long. But if you're going to use the double insider points, I would love to hear what you guys are going to get with that. They've sweetened the pot though, Brian. Once again, Lego coming out, really enticing us to spend the money and take advantage of the double points by offering up a gift with purchase, the tribute to Jane Austen. Well, I think it's officially called the tribute to Jane Austen's books, and $150 U.S. threshold. Follows right in line with the tribute to Jules Verne that we got back in 2024. And hey, man, I love these things. I'm a sucker for gift with purchases anyway. This one, looks cool. I'm digging it. It's interesting. It's a gift with purchase, but from my understanding, there's nothing exceptionally special about it. The figure, the Jane Austen minifig that you get with it is a collection of other pieces. It's the head of Bella Swan from the Twilight set and the torso from one of the characters in the Shire. So we're not really getting anything new. You could literally create this minifig. So you know what I mean? Like, this isn't a set. This is not a gift with purchase where you're like, I need to make sure I walk away with this, because you could literally create it. Like, other than the stickers, which whatever, like, you could literally create this set. And outside of Easter eggs, the stickers are the only Easter eggs that you get with this. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. I'm like, I like that they're sweetening the pot. They're basically saying, if you're going to spend the money anyway, here you go. Here's an extra whatever. But those of us that would maybe be like really looking at something and saying, you could talk me into it with a gift with purchase, this really isn't telling anybody. This isn't talking anybody into it, really, because they're just reusing stuff. Kind of stinks a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if there's many Lego fans that would be interested in this. Definitely non-Lego people, literature nerds would definitely want this. So, yeah, just another thing that you get with your order.
Yeah, like I said, it's, celebrating one of the most important English novelists of our time. Absolutely. Love it. So you can kind of recreate it. So it's not like, I mean, I guess you can recreate it if you go to Bricklink and you can buy the minifig pieces you need from, Twilight and from the Shire, right? You've got yourself a Jane Austen. So whatever. Jules Verne is the same way, so again, you're not enticing people that way. The name carries weight. And so maybe people overlook that or just don't know. And they just, whatever, and just move on with it. The build itself looks cool. It does. It looks really neat. And I would actually I would like to see what the build process kind of feels like and looks like. I own the Jules Verne one. I never built it. It's one of those ones where I kind of kept it in the box. And I'm like, I don't know if I should build this. Let's see. Yep. We'll see. So I don't know. I'd be curious if it entices all of you to go out and spend the 150 US threshold that you need to do it. Again, if you're buying stuff anyway, it's that cherry on top. It's just Lego saying, here you go. But would you go out of your way if you were not planning on spending $150 this week? Would you go out of your way to spend the 150 to get this set? Is that enough to tell you to go out and spend the $150? We know Brian won't.
Not a chance.
Unless that was a peach in minifig form in this gift with purchase.
I would need 7.
He would need 17.
7. Well, actually, I don't even have the VIP points to claim it. Or no, I mean, this would be GWP. But I don't have any VIP points to claim like another blue shell if I wanted to. I haven't even built my blue shell, actually.
That's why you have to get the sail barge, so you have enough insider points to claim whatever GWP stuff is going to go out with the Game Boy or Lord knows what. Man, could you imagine if Brian, because he doesn't buy he doesn't spend the money on the Lego, then all of a sudden they release like a miniature, considering all of the micro build, mini build Disney castles they do a mini Peach's castle that way. Would you buy that?
No. Yeah. I mean, I would get it. I'm a sucker for, but I stay in my lane of being a sucker. I'm not like transcending the suckerage to other categories of Lego. It's very finite verticals that we're in. So yes, that would be one of them.
We saw a lot of friends come back from Brick World Chicago, this week, and sharing all of their stories and tales and everything that they got into or ran around with or knocked over or whatever. And it was interesting that they also took the opportunity in Chicago this year to announce the new Bricklink Designer Program Series 8 finalists. And these are interesting. Not a fan of any of them. So
neither am I.
Thank God. Once again, the Bricklink Designer Program showing up and saying, you're good, Z Money. You don't need to spend your coin on anything from this series. I love that. Apparently Brian's in the same boat.
I don't know what none of it looks particularly interesting, and I wish I had more of a opinion here on any of this, but I don't. I'm that Science University is going to be some big money. I don't envy you if you want that thing, dude. That is going to be.
That's gross. Yeah, that's going to be.
It's going to be like $550. I bet.
That's gross in the wallet.
Real bad. That's bad.
Yeah. The hot air balloon doesn't really do anything. What is it? The coconut cape doesn't do anything. Whatever. The brick railroad locomotive, is this the first time that they've done a motorized set for the Bricklink Designer Program? Do you know?
That's not motorized.
It can be motorized. Let me rephrase. It can be motorized.
Yeah, this is not motorized.
Okay. It's designed to be motorized.
Yeah, but all the trains are designed to be motorized.
No. That Orient Express couldn't move, supposedly.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Excuse me. Anything designed by Lego can be optimized for movement, Zach. So, I think it's the first train on that one.
Yeah. Again, nothing here that's doing anything. That's really doing anything for me. And I'm glad. But you know what's crazy? Like this is what blows my mind with the Bricklink Designer Program. So the crowdfunding for this will open in a year. So June 2026. They haven't even started the crowdfunding for Series 6 yet. Like they're already announcing Series 8. We just went through Series 5. They haven't even started Series 6 yet. And Series 7 doesn't go into crowdfunding until February. That's nuts how far along that they're moving this inventory through. That seems
It's another theme. So if you are interested, you know, now you got a whole new vertical, a whole new slice of Lego for your consideration, done in an official capacity. So if that is what you're into, then absolutely, you know, I'm not gonna see like, yeah. I was actually out of curiosity looking on the page for Series 5, and it says the adventure in Transylvania is not funded. And I'm assuming that just means they reset the
They
bar.
keep moving the
So
goalpost, man. Like, what the heck, dude?
no, but this time it literally looks like it's 1% funded. So it probably either is a clerical error or the bar, like whatever.
They just
But
pushed all
it's
the
obviously
inventory
being
for
funded.
everything else. They're going to do like what, 50,000 units of that now at this point. My God. That thing is,
Hey man.
that's
Yeah,
going to
hey
be,
man. You know, man.
that's going to be crazy. You know what really gets me is that this University of Science, man, like that's what that right there, that is what the X-Mansion should have been. That.
Yes.
Give me a $550 X-Mansion that looks like that.
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do what they did with the new Hogwarts castle. They're gonna have it in segments, three big giant segments, and then little things to go in it. I guarantee you that's what they'll do because they've done it with Hogwarts several times. So they have the big one, the not quite big one, the big one, and then there's the ultimate one where technically if you combine it all, it's gonna be like $600.
Right.
But
play set form that way.
Play set, but when you look at it, it's like, oh,
it looks, it looks impressive. And all of Series 5, like you just said, is still available and will apply to the double points. Not the gift with purchase, though, apparently.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I don't know why they would do that. I guess because they won't ship for months.
Yep.
Right? I guess that's the way that works. So you can get the points right away, but you can't get the gift with purchase because it won't ship right away. I guess that makes sense. The other thing that got announced there's
the segue. There it is.
The other thing that got announced this week that had everybody salivating over it more than the Bricklink Designer Program was the new Lego Ideas submissions. I wish I could do the Godzilla roar with my own mouth. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I had that kind of vocal range that I could do that amazing Godzilla, whatever.
You can't breathe hot plasma out of your mouth. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, it's that iconic roar. Dude, could you imagine if they did a sound brick in this idea set?
No, because then on the front they would have to put, if you ingest this, you will die.
They're going to do that anyway, because if they don't do a light brick for his fire trail or whatever, they're going to do that anyway. You have to include a light brick.
This Godzilla set, you will die. That's what the front of the box is going to say.
That's fine. Put it on the box. I don't care as long as you gave me that sound brick and that light brick, because I need all of that with this Godzilla set, because I'm so excited for this. Now, the submission, this is an idea set. This is different than the Bricklink Designer Program. We talked a lot about this, the differences between the two. Lego's going to get their paws into this one, not like the Bricklink Designer stuff. Lego's going to get their paws into this one. They're going to readjust, fix it up, create new pieces as needed, whatever, to make this set everything and anything that it should be, allegedly. We've seen it go the other way. But I'm so excited for I cannot wait. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. Like, dude, I cannot wait for this. This is going to be so cool. I think that they could, like I said, I think that they could plus it up and make it better if they added a light brick, if they added a sound brick. I haven't really seen much like sound brick stuff like in the pipeline lately. Like, we kind of hit.
Yeah, because they got to put a horrifically ugly sticker on the front, which absolutely deters people from buying it.
They got to do that with the light bricks anyway, and they do that in sets.
Yeah, but they don't do it nearly as often as they have in the past, because that will absolutely deter people from buying the thing.
and allegedly be motorized. No, it's not going to be allegedly be motorized. But they could do some cool stuff with this, and I think they should. I think they should have an ugly sticker on the box and add a sound brick to this. I think they should put an ugly sticker on the box and add a light brick to this. That would be. I would love to see them do some really cool customized pieces with like the fins and stuff, as opposed to just being solid black like it is in the original design. It could be really, really, really cool.
This thing falls into the camp of I want to build it, but I don't want to buy it and I don't want to keep it.
Really? Why?
I'm not a Godzilla. Like I will watch Godzilla. I'll watch Kong versus Godzilla, whatever. I'll go see the blockbuster, right? But I'm not inherently a Godzilla fan. And I mean, if you have a Lego City as a display, this is obligatory. You have to have this, of course. So I don't. So it's not a obligatory one for me, but I think there's a lot of ways you could do this. And you know, what does the neckline look like in relation to the body? And there's all different iterations of Godzilla. And I don't know if I'm confident enough in Lego to actually pull it off to where it looks menacing, because it has to look menacing. And when you give Lego a very easy assignment, easy assignment of making the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon, and they make it look like what they did, I don't trust those people right now to make a Godzilla.
I don't think they're going to change much of the overall. I think the design is going to be pretty close to what we're seeing. You know what I mean? You think they will?
I think they will.
No.
I just got a feeling. I got a gut feeling. I don't feel good about it.
All right. Well, let's clip that and ship that. I'm curious to see where we land with this. The designer went for a more modern day version of Godzilla, as opposed to the much older version of it. But I just don't see him doing. I don't see him changing that. Man, I'd love to see it as big as the T-Rex though. That T-Rex skeleton, dude. Give me a Godzilla that size. Please give me a Godzilla that size. I want something
like 250. I'm thinking 250 on it. What was the skull? 3?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
T-Rex? Yeah, like 3 something. Yeah.
You think they wouldn't go above 250 on? Man, this would be their tent pole idea set for the year, though, wouldn't it?
That we know of so far.
That we know. Well, they approved 2. So they introduced this idea. Was it last year? They introduced this idea of the parking lot, right? So they approve a couple sets, and then they have another set that they really, really like, but it needs something. It needs more work, or they need more information on it, so it can't it can't make its all the way into approval. So they put it in what they called the parking lot, and that set was the 1010 space rocket. And they, got whatever reason, they jump started the car and they got it out of the parking lot, apparently, because now it has also been approved. So this, along with the 1010 rocket, has made its way out of the parking lot and has been approved. And they moved another set into the parking lot, the camping set, whatever, that little like diorama looking set, which whatever, doesn't do anything for me. But the 1010 rocket was one of those interesting ones. When they moved it into the parking lot, I was like, it can stay there. Like for me, like I'm not a, that scratches no nostalgia itch for me at all. So I'm like, I don't need 1010, and it doesn't do anything for me. I'm sure there's going to be rocket people out there, like, the Astro Canucks of the world, that are going to be all about, give me all the rockets, give them to me. But, I'm just all about the Godzilla. I need that. I need all the Godzillas, but I need it to look like this. I don't want them to, don't do a toothless thing.
I think they're going to mess up the neck.
What makes you think that?
I just don't trust them. I don't trust them. They're not going to put the same people that did Mario. They're going to put the same, I don't know. I think whatever direction they go in, I just have a bad feeling. I got a bad feeling of lies. I just do.
Okay. So that actually, that brings up a point or a question that I have. So you got a designer. Everybody, all these designers are all, they're all sectioned out, right? You're going to work on this, you're going to work on that. Da, 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 da. And then there's designers out there that just, you know, knock them out of the park, right? Like we what we saw with Bowser, what we've seen with these Nintendo sets in general, like every Nintendo set has been really good, right? And when you if you are a project manager or project lead, you know, at Lego, and somebody is doing a Godzilla and they're just not nailing the neck, like why wouldn't you pull in designers that seem to do well with things like that? Like why wouldn't you pull in the designer from Bowser and say, how do we do this? Like, how do we get this better? Like, what ideas do you have? Like, do they not do that? Because sometimes it just feels like they just didn't talk. They didn't look over their cubicle to talk to the person next to him to figure this out, right? Bring in the neck guy. Yeah, bring in the neck guy. Like, give me
It could
give me
be
the
an
neck guy.
issue of the available parts or the available, like, whatever weird constriction you have with like how much budget you have for the set, and like, you know, how, okay, phrase it with a different set. How do we get the Black Panther bust looking the way it does when a fan can make it look tremendously more better with the same parts?
Yeah,
How do you do that? And you know, it's either you're locked into a specific criteria or yeah, parts list. If it's the parameters, it has to be, you know, done this way. And I think Nintendo is very, I mean, I know they're very strict on how their characters are portrayed. So if it looks off, it won't land.
Mhm.
Now, the brick built stuff like the Mario, it's a style. It's not supposed to look one to Mario. But like if that Mario in the cart looked off, it wouldn't have gone anywhere.
right.
So it's a matter of the IP holder and then whatever art design the you know the set designer wants to go with. Because clearly, like the not hiccup, what's his name?
Toothless.
Toothless was a design style choice that we just don't like. So
Right.
maybe there's an issue that will come up with that, like, oh, well, this is the style we want to go with. And then we're like, actually, that sucks, but it's going to happen.
So in the situation like this, because it is an ideas set, unlike Toothless, right? Like, is this something where the original designer has any input at all after Lego gets their hands on it?
To my knowledge, the designer can give feedback, but Lego can absolutely just be like, yeah, we don't care. And then just do whatever. Like they don't need to hold it to them because, you know, once you submit it to the platform, you know, it is what it is. And if it gets approved, they still get their 1% and whatever stuff that goes with it, no matter what. So what does this person's opinion matter anymore? Unfortunately, right? You want them to be part of the process and have their voice be heard. And hopefully everything is taken to whatever extent it can. But at that point, they have no input whatsoever. And most of the time, to my knowledge, every fan designer has been like, all right, it's fine, whatever. They're getting the opportunity to work with Lego when just as easily Lego could have been like, hey, forget your Snow White house, we're gonna go make it. And then, you know,
Right. Yeah, that seems to be a normal occurrence as well, which is
unfortunate.
yeah, which is very, very interesting. I don't remember, people are throwing out things in chat like the Jaws set turning out really well versus the idea submission. I don't remember what that would look like. The one that stuck out to me was the Office one. I'm a huge Office fan, and Lego really took that Office set and like dumbed it down. I know that seems harsh to say, but they really, to try to hit a price point, like you could tell that's what they were going for. They were 100% trying to make it fit into a certain price point, right?
Yep.
That, I'm hoping they don't do that with, because some of these
They do
ideas
that with everything. They did that with the X-Men. Like that's part of the nature of the business. They have to do that. You can't give everything an unlimited budget. And maybe in their market research, they're like, wow, okay, people would buy a $200 Godzilla, but not a $400 one. So that's going to inherently change the entire fabric of what it is. You know,
Right.
I don't know what that number is. If I had to take a guess, the number, I would say
I think you could make. I think you could make.
249
I
Godzilla.
I think you could make it the same price as the T-Rex skeleton. I think it could be the same. It may be a little bit smaller,
It would
right?
be
Because
way
it's
smaller.
right because you got to. It's different pieces or whatever. But I think you could still make it that same price and make it, have the value in there, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Boy, do you add a couple? No, you don't add a couple minifigs to that.
You don't add anything to it. No, 0. Just Godzilla.
Just Godzilla. And then next year they give us like a giant buildable Donkey Kong.
No, they won't. No, they won't. You know why? They're going to come out with a big, giant Donkey Kong.
That's what I just said. That's what I just said.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
I said next year they give us a big, giant Donkey Kong, and then we and then we have our battle that we all want. Please.
It's so interesting because they just redid the design of him, and I wonder if that had any implication on them doing like a larger DK, because it would totally that would do phenomenally. Same size as Bowser. Oh man, be incredible.
You just watched, I know this is going off topic here, but you just watched the presentation for the new game, right? That was this week?
Yep.
Okay, what was the overall impression from you and from the general public?
Oh, it looks great. It looks like all the same love, care, and creativity of Mario Odyssey, which that same team took what they learned from that and just tripled down and made a brand new Donkey Kong experience. It looks awesome. It looks so fun. You can tear up the environment as him. You're going around with Pauline, like a little teenage Pauline, and change all the different fur colors and outfits and all this stuff. There's a skill tree, all sorts of stuff. It's crazy. So that'll be the game to get a lot of people to buy a Switch too, if you haven't already. That's going to be awesome. Very excited.
Interesting. Well, we've got some amazing idea sets, that are coming up, more, to be voted on at a later time. But ideas is on the top of everybody's thoughts right now, because there seems to be some interesting things going on in the ideas world, and one of them is this idea of potentially stealing said ideas, which is very, very interesting. Lego Ideas creator Mex Bricks, I think is how you say the name, has called out AliExpress and other retailers, Amazon being one of them, for creating copies of his work. Now, his verbiage in his claim is a little tricky, because AliExpress and Amazon did not create
they have nothing to do with it.
Copies of his work. They, through a third party, were selling what looked like copies of his, could be looked at as copies of his work, especially when it comes to this cash register. Now, in his claim, he goes on to say that there were a few other sets that he found, and things like a popcorn machine and things like a toaster. I have looked at said popcorn machine. I have looked at said toaster, and I do not see how you can claim those as being exactly his model, his property, or anything like that. The cash register, 100%. It is a shot for shot, digital remake of his design, down to the numbering on the actual cash register artwork. Like, it's absolutely disgusting. Like, they literally just stole it right from his posting, and that, that's not right. The other ones, I feel like, because he was already kind of alert to this, I think he's seeing things that aren't there. But because, come on, we've seen a lot of different types of popcorn machines, like in the Brickables and the ideas and submissions and the Bricklink designer program submission. Like, a lot of people have these ideas, right? I don't think you can claim this stuff. In a situation like this, so he reached out to Amazon. I think was the first one he reached out to. And Amazon, they're a big company. They got, they got to save face, and they they pulled down the list. They did the research, they did their whatever evaluation of it, they pulled down the listing. It's the other sites like the AliExpresses of the world, the Temus of the world. They don't, you ain't got nobody to talk to, man. And they're notorious for doing stuff like this, for not, for selling things, not doing their checks and balances. But realistically, they're getting thousands of submissions probably a week, right? Of who knows what. They're just approving them. They rely on people to tell them that, hey, this is, this is not their own intellectual property here. Like, this is mine. This is not anything. But if you can't get a hold of them, I don't know what you do in this scenario. It should all, is this a warning, Brian, to all Lego designers out there trying to submit things to different programs like Ideas, like Rebrickable, like Bricklink designer programs? Should people be a little bit more concerned about what they're putting out there?
You can be concerned just putting anything out on the internet in general, your idea, your not pertaining to Lego or otherwise. There's always somebody who could try to mimic what you're doing and take advantage of it financially or otherwise. Like, we know this with media. It happens all the time. Sure. Copyright infringement. It's going to be even easier now with AI bots that are probably designed to, like, hey, what's, scrub Lego ideas and then tell me what has the most engagement on here, which will be my financial decision to rip off this model and toss it on Amazon. Now, what probably happened in Amazon's case is Amazon identified the seller as probably being brand new, and then, all right, we'll get rid of it, spam, because this sort of stuff unfortunately happens all the time. AliExpress and all them, you can't get a hold of those people. And the unfortunate hot take when it comes to all of that, as somebody who knows a lot of people who's had their stuff ripped off and sold and whatever, and their opinion on it as well, is be flattered that somebody stole your design and wants to make it into a product. And that means there's at least merit to it being a thing, and you can carry that into something that you can fully control within your own parameters. So if this were made into a kit by the creator or by a company other than Lego, I think you'd have more grounds to legitimately legally pursue. But a lot of these companies that make this stuff are located in a different country with different laws and different language barrier. And is it worth your effort as a creator, an independent 1 to 3 person team, to go after some factory that in China that you can't clearly communicate with because of language barrier? Probably not. So you just kind of whatever, that's what has been happening for many, many years and will keep happening, unfortunately.
This isn't new. And this is happening, like, forget the, I hate to say it, but forget the designers out there. Like, this is happening to Lego as a company in the set. Like, they have sets.
Yeah. And they're ripping off the exact set. That is like, they have shut down factories in China that are mimicking bricks and infringing on the copyright of, right? So, if this were, like, it would be cool to get a kit where it's all chrome gold. Like, this would never happen. This thing would never, ever, ever happen. But it'd be really cool if it did.
Yeah, man, I would love this. This set looks great, right? Like, I would love to. But yeah, the designer himself even said, in his submission that there are pieces that he put in this digitally that don't even exist. Which
but this whole thing would not be pearl gold. Like, this is it's a wonderful design. But the fact that it's all pearl gold is a pipe dream. That would never, ever, ever happen.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. And, but, to everybody's point here, this is something that's been going on for years. You're putting your stuff out there on the internet. People are going to take it. Shoot, we've seen that in the digital realm on things like YouTube, and our stuff being ripped off of YouTube channels or live streams and republished and posted.
Happened to me
on other channels, acting like they own it. It's just unfortunate, the world that we live in, but you don't blame YouTube for that. Like, you can't, you know what I mean? And that's unfortunate what some of the verbiage in this person's complaint was calling out.
Well, because they're the designer and they're obviously hurt, and I understand that. And then there's the other side of it, which is the business side of it, which is what it all is. That's what it is to those people. So that's why when you're going into these situations, you really have to have that all around approach to everything. And yes, it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong or whatever. It's just the reality of the situation, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. Once again, though, my goodness, the show just the hour just flies by, man. My goodness. But thank you guys so much for being here, for hanging out with us. We love being live with you now here on Twitch, and then posting the show later. Usually the show, both in video format and audio format, go out the following day. So if you're watching us live here on Thursday, you're going to find the show on Fridays by 10 a.m. Eastern time, out there at all the different platforms like YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and so on. And if you have not yet subscribed over there, please do so. Find us over there at youtube.com/ZMB Live, and leave a comment when you watch the show. Please let us know your thoughts on the show. If there were any, retiring sets out there that we didn't mention that you're like, hey, that's the set everybody should be targeting. We would love to hear that. We would love to know what those sets might be. Brian, what do you got going on? What do you got cooking coming up on here on the live streams for the next week or so? More Nintendo Switch stuff?
Next week is my first ever Twitch partner party. Friday.
First?
At 5 p.m. Eastern. Yes. I have no plan. There's no sub goal, bit goal, charity, itinerary, nothing. I will hit the go live button, and whatever happens, happens. Don't ask me any more questions about what's going on. I don't have the answers. That's it.
I love that the man that is one of the most strategic,
yes,
planned out,
yes,
calendar humans ever,
yes,
right?
Yes,
is going into his very first partner celebration going, F it. I mean, that's it's crazy.
I have just gone through and meticulously I mean, if Kevin were here, he would tell you meticulously down to the day and the hour how Pro Gamer's Guide to Defeating Trolls was going to be, right? To the hour, as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so exhausting. And I'm like, whatever. This partner party's happened in a month and a half, after the fact. And, it part of it is also in that when you are knighted as a Twitch partner, right? It's not something I can necessarily control. I can apply, I can go live, I can tell people about it, whatever. But there are definitely people that need to show up and need to be there. And if they want to show up and support, they do. And it's up to them whether or not they want to show up or not. Not up to me. I can guilt trip people all day, but if people don't show up, they don't show up. So when I go live for the partner party, it'll be like, all right, what do we do?
There you go.
Take it from there.
So is there a cutoff time, or you're just going to go until you feel
I don't know. You're asking too many questions. I don't know. Zero. Nothing.
There it is, Jack.
Zilch. Nada. Nothing.
Get this guy going for 3 days straight. I love it. That's what's going to happen. We're going to keep him live for 3 days. Here's what we need, though. We need you starting.
I don't care what you need. There's no plan.
I want you. Listen.
Plan.
Listen. I need you to start that stream off with nachos. I want you to camera on with a big old cheesy nacho in your mouth.
Here's what I know. I'm going to start the live stream and say, hey, my little preamble speech. Thank you all so much for your support. This is what Twitch partner means to me. Cut to the intro. That's it. I don't know what else happens. That's it. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Don't bother. I don't know.
Somebody's going to be Uber Eatsing this guy.
There's no new redeems. There's no surprises. There's nothing. Zero. Nothing.
We're going to get him coffee, and we're going to get him nachos.
have nothing planned. Whatever you do, I have no plans.
And then he's going to do half of that day from the bathroom because he had coffee and nachos together.
He should build the Ecto one.
There was a set that he missed. There was a set he didn't take advantage double points last year to get. And you should not miss out the same double insider points. Sorry, double insider points till June 23rd. Don't miss out. Buy your sets if you've got the cash. Don't just keep looking. Don't be like me walking away from the T-Rex Rampage set that you saw in the store for years going, man, I need that set. And then I didn't get it. And now I don't have it. And I want it on my shelf. And it's gone forever. That's the way it is. Brian, thank you so much for another fantastic show. Folks, you out there in Twitch land that are still with us live, stick around for the post show. We're going to hang out with you guys for a little bit. Answer any questions you guys got. Sound off. What sets are you getting for this double insider points weekend? We want to hear it. Until next time, everybody. We love you and we like you. And we'll see you then.